got a great web of people. We're all interconnected. This is great. And Leila, did you want to say anything before we start or anything?
I want to say thank you for planning, doing, and coming.
Okay, and how this is going to work is that we're going to eat a little bit, and then before dessert, then people can say anything if you want. And if you
nice.
only nice.
Try.
If you can't say anything, don't say any. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. And if everybody talks for only 5 minutes, we'll be here for what, 4 hours? Or something. Okay, and so that's how it's going to work. So you'll all have a chance if you want to, just before the dessert and during the dessert. So that's how it works.
Praise God, from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Him above the heavenly hosts. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Good to me, and so I thank the Lord for giving me the things I need, the sun and the rain and the apple seed. The Lord is good to me. Amen, 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 amen. Let's eat! Thank you.
We'd like to say about Leila. First of all, Edie has something to say.
Okay. We had a couple people who couldn't show up today for illness reasons, and so they have sent some messages, and I would like to read the messages. So this is first from Nod Meyer, and you should say, actually, I think it will be self-explanatory who she is, and if not, you can add to it afterwards. Okay. Can people hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Dear Edie, your mother is one of my oldest classmates from the Wheeler School. As I recall, she came in part way through the year as a new student in perhaps 4th grade. Everyone liked her, and the teacher explained that Leila, having had polio, could not run as fast as the rest of us. This fascinated me as I watched Leila run with a bit of a limp, more like a hop. Hence, I nicknamed her Rabbit. Because I liked rabbits. Naturally, over time, Rabbit became too long and was shortened to Rabby? Rabby. So, a toast to my dear friend Rabby, wishing her happy, healthy years in her 90s. From Nod. And the next one is from the Roaches.
Oh, baby. Yes.
No, go ahead.
Okay, this is Edith,
Edith,
Bennett's wife.
Edie and Edith.
Dear FAFOLS, friends of family of Leila, and Leila herself. We celebrate with you in spirit from Colorado. The only thing that could keep us from being there with you in person is the possibility of moving back east, as we say out here on the frontier. You see, we're all set to hop on a plane and we were all set to hop on a plane to surprise Leila today, but a job interview popped up. So, although we wish we could be there to celebrate with you today, we're hoping that we'll soon be back in popping distance from Popover Hill. So, celebrate in spirit we must. We celebrate in the spirit of friendship, as we are lucky to be counted among the many who call Leila a friend. She is such a special friend to us, of the very best kind. The kind of friend who you can laugh and cry with at the same time. So we celebrate in the spirit of life's ups and downs, knowing that we have a friend in Leila, through thick and thin. We celebrate in the spirit of fun, something Leila has truly mastered. There's never been a time that we've been with Leila that we didn't have fun. Even doing laundry is fun with Leila. We celebrate in the spirit of thoughtfulness. Leila once told me that she starts each day asking God to show her how she can be of help to someone. This explains how she can be so thoughtful and caring on a daily basis. We've been on the receiving end of that thoughtful prayer many, many times, so we celebrate in the spirit of thankfulness with gratitude for all Leila means to us. Happy birthday, Granny Leila. We love you so very much. Hugs and kisses from your Roaches, Kate, Randy, Charlotte, and Jonathan.
They are wonderful people.
Allison, did you want to say anything? Would you? Sure.
Well, I'm going to be a friend with Leila's too. Be sure you come loud. Loud. All right. Leila's 90th birthday. May I present my friend Leila, brought up by Rhode Island and Whitlock. The Cape gives her fun and ocean and sun, but Hampton's her natural media. All my friends said she'd be a great match. Her new friend's a wonderful catch. We're now of one heart. They can't tell us apart. They're confused at each neighborhood clash. We have the same taxman named Mike. His receptionist knows we're alike. She was crimson with shame when she used the wrong name. It's common. None with his strike. I wanted her worries to end. It's okay, because Leila's my friend. In my heart, she is nearest, my oldest and dearest. With her, my whole life I could spend. Actually, I did say this to her. Don't worry, she's a friend, and that made it all right. The best of our lives we still share. Our children, none can compare. Together, quite rowdy. Mark, Beth, and Edie, and Howdy. And their kids. One ladies, look out. We're a couple of hot tickets, no doubt. We maybe can't run, but we're joyful and fun. Gosh, they are 90, they shout. Unlike Allison, I can't do rhymes, but I wrote a poem anyway. She came to our back door a month or so after we moved in, appealing for UNICEF. Harmless looking, we thought, and let her in. Half a lifetime ago, we let her in, and none of our lives have ever quite recovered. She likes surprises, so she organized a surprise for us when we planned to set off on a year around the world. We were even staying at the Osby house. It was summer, the windows were open, but somehow she organized about 50 people to magically materialize for supper and surprise. I still have the little bottle of Hampton Earth she gave us there. It reminds me of where I am truly at home, in Leila's kitchen. I have wept there, I have roared with laughter there, I have held endless cups of tea there. Geraniums, Arthur the avocado, gadgets galore, those are Leila's kitchen. And then there's cream of mushroom soup and Indian pudding to die for with a piece of jewelry or a sculpture on the side. It's 46 years since the lucky day I met Leila. 27 years since Leila and Bonnet did the flowers for my daughter Rachel's wedding. How long since the famous 30th anniversary at the Cape, for which we made the great quilt that was so late it became known as the Guilt. 10 years since she sold us the land on which we built our dream house. There are so many years, and today I celebrate them all since I met this wonderful woman who planned long ago to become Basil Queen of Connecticut and has reached her 90th birthday without quite achieving that ambition. But who knows? Leila, I have become convinced, can do anything she sets her mind to do.
Rich Pario, I'm a friend of Leila's and also a neighbor in Hampton. And I have a title to what I was going to say, but I'll show Leila the title later. Okay? And this is an attempt to talk about Leila's life and also retrace her ancestry from day one to the present.
Can you speak up a little bit? Rick.
I took a few liberties.
Say it loudly, Rich.
It is truly an honor to be here at the Golden Lamb Buttery, Popover Hill on steroids. But what better location to feat Leila Fisk Ostby, a dyed-in-the-wool New Englander. Okay? I know, Leila, that you object to my calling this occasion a roast, but that is what it is. After all, we are all feasting on the Golden Lamb. And after your goose is cooked, you get your just desserts, one of them being this speech. And believe you me, I worked hard and long to make it well done, having embroiled myself in numerous YouTube videos of similar events hosted by the Friars Club and Dean Martini. So let me examine the life and heritage of this grande dame. Leila was born a Fisk, a descendant of the immigrant Stefan Uriah Fiske-Schnitzel, named after the German town of his birth. Seeking greater opportunity, Stefan set sail for the New World on the Mayflower. While on board, he met Roger Williams, who thought he was on a slow boat to China. But Herr Fiske Schnitzel said, "No, stay with me, because you are supposed to found Rhode Island." And he did. Once in the colonies, Stefan noticed that there were more British than German. So he dropped the schnitzel, which was immediately picked up and eaten. Stefan thrived in this new land of freedom and opportunity, quickly amassing a fortune due to his fiscal acuity. But when the stress of Providence became too much, he sought shelter on an island where he created his own plantation. Meanwhile, the centuries passed, and another of Leila's ancestors, Horace, invented the automobile, calling his dealership Horace Ford. He was so successful, he got bored and decided to invent baking powder. This made him an extremely wealthy man, so he built for his family a magnificent house in rural Rhode Island, and that is where Leila grew up. As a child, Leila was very even-tempered, and rarely was heard a discouraging word. And the skies were not cloudy all day, and so forth. However, there was one thing that riled her. It was those pesky creatures unique to the ocean state, mewits. And indeed, from time to time, she would whack one of them with her foot. And thus was born the name for her childhood home, everybody? Mewit. Okay? Leila told me that the Mewits gave the state such a bad reputation that residents of neighboring states nicknamed Rhode Island Little Rodent, which Governor Cianci later softened to Little Rhodey. And I should stop there or I'll overstay my welcome. Thank you.
But just try. So take your napkin and take the top part and fold it into the middle, like this. And then this part goes into the middle. So the two selvages, as it were, are lined up right down the middle, like that. Oh, they have to be even. Yes, they have to be even. So can you see how I've done this? Okay, the outer part comes into the middle, and then the bottom part comes up to meet that, like that. Everybody got that? Now we're going to reach around into the very middle of the napkin and pick it up as if it's a clothesline, and it is hanging from the clothesline. Now we are going to place the napkin in front of us so that the cut edges, as opposed to the folded edges, are at the top, like this. Could you show us? Somewhat like a diaper. Or a loincloth. Now, we're going to take our little fingers and we are going to tippy-toe through the napkin. Take the top part and tiptoe through the other ones and pinch this part. So we're going to pinch this part, but we are leaving the two middle parts untouched. So we're going to tippy-toe our fingers through and take the outer part and attach it to the back part.
The two corners.
The two corners, thank you.
Four corners.
Now this is the most important part of the trick. Pay attention. Leila?
We're working on it.
get the corners. Take the corners in your fingers. It's the corners they want, right? In your fingers. But hold the corners. Squishes down. It'll be okay. It'll work. Do you need a more instruction?
Now, are we ready? We're going to pull this towards our chestal region.
Chestal region?
Chestal region.
Chestal region.
Chestal area, chestal region. And we are going to look sideways over our shoulders.
Which way?
Now we are going to pull them apart.
Pull hard. Very good.
Listen up.
Oh, that would be a napkin.
Go ahead, Beth.
Well, the Osby Davis families were best friend families. And the Osby family, I would say, was a little naughtier than the Davis family. Even though, at the table, the Osbys were not allowed to talk about feet or teeth. What?
No
Should we
feet
do
or
it
teeth.
again? The Osbys at the table were not allowed to talk about feet or teeth. Your father. But there are many, many expressions, family expressions that originate from the Osby family. And one of them, there's an Uncle Gussie connection here, I believe. And I recall that this happened on the Bellatrix going through the Cape Cod Canal. And I think Uncle Gussie was like this. And Leila said, armpits in the sun. And took a picture. And to this day, armpits in the sun is part of our family lexicon. We often refer to armpits in the sun. No. And the other story I have about Leila is Leila could be counted on to always have the proper perspective on anything. And I will recall that Edie and I were on the Cape, and Gum Gum never smoked her Parliament cigarettes very far down. She would take a few puffs, and that would be it. So there were lots of cigarettes around. And once, Leila came into the little house, and Edie and I were happily puffing away Gum Gum cigarettes. And Leila's comment was, oh, we were like, what? 8. And Leila's comment was, douse your cigarettes, girls. We're going swimming. Anyway, but so this is all leading to my final point, which is that Leila and my mother are brilliant at funny poems. And at my wedding, my husband Peter is sitting there, and I'm sitting there, and Leila gets up to do one of her poems. And it's all about my first boyfriend. And she goes on about how I love this boyfriend, and if ever I was sad, I would go and cry on his neck. And he had beautiful golden hair, and how I would spend all my free time with him and dreaming about him, and how he was my whole world. And Peter's sitting there going, and then the punchline is, Beth loved her pony. by saying that I think that Leila is the kindest, most caring person in the world, and that I think of her as my second mother, and I think of her children as my brothers and sisters. Right. And happy birthday, Leila.
Okay, who else would like to say something? That's great. Fred, is Fred has something?
A little different. The many lives of Leila, the many characters of Leila, written by a very dear friend of hers, Elizabeth Miller from Canada. And it's entitled Leila and Her Garden. Leila's garden is a safe place. She doesn't pull up the lilac saplings, disturb the flowering weeds, or clip back the aromatic mint. The asparagus grows tall and graceful. It dances in the wind among flowers and grasses. Its spring shoots grow and never feel a knife. Her berries, beside the barn, feed birds and deer. Dark purple succulent grapes hang over her driveway, visited by creatures on the warm autumn nights. And she welcomes the beekeepers' hives to her land. The bees find nectar in her fields and water in her ponds. They hum and they buzz their way through the summer heat. Swallows visit her barn each spring without fail. They raise their young in peace and leave in early fall, bidding goodbye in a row on the wires crossing her driveway. Leila, to my mind, is like her welcoming land and garden. She is quiet and looks frail, but she's as strong and determined. She is as brave as when she was young and raising her chicks. The old pine tree that stands behind her house lives on and on, although it's quite impossible because its trunk is hollow. I think it lives because she loves it and shares her secrets. It holds the memories of the man she loves so well. Her children, her house, barn, ponds, hayfields, and rock walls. Leila has never given up. She offers all of us a lesson so fine, and she just keeps getting better, just like expensive old wine. Now you ready for this?
No, not really.
Ready about and hallelujah, and be of good cheer, for our Leila has rounded yon boy of her 90th year. I am a Cantanabit began. On her catch of good life, she sails on with great joy, and look there off the port bow, Nine Gables ahoy! Looking back with fond memories of her wake, she will see her family, her friends, and the life yet to be. Now, let us all be serious for a moment, please, or so, and pay tribute to Leila and honor her as the lady that we know. A special window of time for Sylvia and me as we gather around the table at Popover Hill and Nine Gables by the sea, where good laughter and friendship and fun stories abound. The true meaning of life, like a flower or a jewel, I had to get the jewel, will be found. To Leila, a sailor of life, high tide or low. And at this time, you'll be glad that this poet will sit down and go.
Leila, did you want to say something?
Yeah. I just don't know what to say. I wish it was somebody else's birthday. Well, I'd like to share this with everybody because all the people who are here are very dear to me.
in all different times of my life, and now, and have been, and will be. What else can I say? I love you all. I think you've done a wonderful job. You all talk too much. You say too many nice things. And am I lucky? Look at that. I have that. It's Alpha and Omega right here. I'm Alpha, and that little guy over there is perfect. He's Omega. His name is Elliot Fowler, and he is my first great grandchild. I hope someday there'll be more, but they couldn't be any cuter than him. So let's turn the subject to the future. And I just don't know how to thank you all for all the nice things you said. You have to say, you know, it's very hard to think of all those nice things. And I really appreciate every one. And it's, I would close the door on talking about me anymore. It's tough. They have to accept it, but I'm accepting it and loving it. Every minute I'm having such fun. I think it's the best party I've ever been to.
Yeah, I did not bring any written speeches. I brought no poems. I brought nothing but myself. But I do want to say one thing. You are part of the glue that holds my life together. I don't have a lot of family, but you're the central piece of that family.
Bless your heart.
And I love hearing the story of a cousin or son in the north. I knew it wasn't my dad. But I just want you to know how important you have been, how important your family has been to me, how important Nine Gables is to me.
You're very important, and I hope you keep coming to Nine Gables.
I hope so too. Thank you. That was short, right?
It was perfect.
Leila, would you like to say something about this picture they have hanging here and this?
Well, that was me, and I don't know how old, but maybe 10 years old. He was painted by, we can call it an itinerant painter. He was an Englishman that my dad befriended in Providence. That he was run, I don't know who found him, but he didn't have anything but a bag of paints and brushes, and he had just come from England. He had no place to stay. So my dad said, well, why don't you come here? And I said, well, come down to the country here, and would you paint my family? And I think that then some of the Bowens who were here, their mom had, you know, my dad talked to their parents, and they had picked lots and lots of people around Providence had Mr. William Sherwood painted, and then he disappeared. I don't know what happened. But he charged $25 for painting. How many years ago? If I was 10, it was 80 years ago. And anyway, I remember sitting for it in that green chair. How old the person was? Oh, I thought he was very old. Well, yeah, he was.
Beth was going to wear Allison's, but they couldn't find Allison's dress, so you have to imagine that Beth was wearing Allison's dress. And so this is a dress from 1950 something. You were going square dance. Oh, of course.
Can you do a spin? Just a little bit so we don't see too
Thank you.
Glenn's from West Virginia, the Kents from Tennessee. They know me where they grow me in Wyoming. Hampshire and New Hampshire, that's for me. And Minnow come from Minnesota. Coats come from Dakota. Why should you be blue? 'Cause you come from Rhode Island.
To close the day out, the right thing to do is to erupt into some sort of joyful noise. And this is a Swiss cow call. So in the dialect of Swiss German that I learned this from, they call it Jutz, which they translate into meaning, the translation is to erupt into joyful noise. So I thought that's a great way to ring Granny into 90.
Yeah.
And to also thank everyone who put on this great party, and to get up and stretch our backs and our lungs and move on out to take our fit. And then we'll do the end of the first part, which is so let's show them the B section. Ready? Okay. Okay, so try singing that. Ready? And in the tag, we'll sing it and you sing it back. It's that simple. Ready? Listen. Yeah. Woo, woo, woo. Try that. Yeah. Woo.
Want to stand right here? And then stand up. Stand up.
Stand up. Okay. Are you ready to go with what I say? 1, 2, 3. Look.
Nice. Enough. We'll try to get that.
Let's get the key.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh, and then it's...
Everybody over here.
There you go.
Look at me, don't look at them.